In a world of chaos filled with sorcery and curses, Jujutsu Kaisen introduces us to a range of overpowered and skilled individuals, each with their own unique ability. From intense battles to adrenaline pump scenes, it's very rare for fans to not be at the edge of their seats while watching this action-packed anime. So hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we go over the top 10 strongest characters of Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's begin! Number 10. Toji. Toji Fushiguro, also known as the Sorcerer Killer, may be number 10, but boasts more experience than the majority of the characters in the anime. Among a chosen few to have defeated Gojo as well as Geto, the well-built assassin's greatest ability is his lack of cursed energy. This is seen during his fight against Gojo when the latter's Six Eyes technique is unable to detect the assassin, and allows Toji to gain the upper hand in battle. Moreover, many of the elite sorcerers underestimate him when they observe that he has next to no cursed energy, which eventually leads to their demise. However, it would be far-fetched to say Toji is undefeatable, and he could easily have an early meeting with God if he comes to blows with some of the sorcerers higher up in this list. Number 9. Maki. Maki Zenin was an average sorcerer with hardly an ounce of cursed energy to call her own. However, once her twin Mai sacrificed herself and gave Maki the tools to grow stronger. Not only did she acquire a body of steel, but her senses became much sharper, so much so that she could even detect changes in temperature. If you still have any doubts about her strength, just ask the Zenin clan, who faced a brutal massacre at her hands. Even their special grade first-class sorcerers were no match for Maki, and she slaughtered each one of them without the slightest show of remorse. Considering the fact that she has already received her power-up, it's doubtful that she would receive another, so we can assume that she will not be climbing up any higher on this list. Number 8. Hakari. Kenji Hakari is still ungraded, but is regarded quite highly by none other than Gojo. This creates the prescient that he may reach his level one day. Moreover, he's also defeated highly ranked sorcerer Kashiomo, which kind of speaks for itself. His special domain expansion, Ideal Death Gamble, is what makes him such a strong opponent. It resembles a train station where a game of chance takes place. Here, Hakari's aim is to bag a jackpot, which only has a 1 in 239 chance of happening. However, if all three numbers by some minor miracle do manage to match, Hakari goes into an unkillable mode, where all his abilities are peaked and any injury he suffers instantly heals. Although this lasts for only about 5 minutes, that's more than enough time for him to wreak havoc on his enemies. Although it's probable he will eventually be classed as a special sorcerer, keeping him higher on this list as of now does not seem like a good idea. Number 7. Geto. Suguru Geto used to be a classmate of Gojo at Tokyo Jujutsu High, where he became infamous for rivaling the naturally talented sorcerer. However, as with similar cases when power goes unchecked, Geto wanders onto a dark path where he begins to harbor a deep resentment for all those who could not practice sorcery. A bloodbath soon ensues when he goes on a crazy rampage, murdering several civilians to satisfy his bigotry, and as a result, he's expelled from Jujutsu High. What makes him so powerful is his ability to manipulate curses and make them his own. The highest extent of his skill is the Uzumaki, where numerous curses are mixed together to form one major attack. He uses this in his battle against Yuta, and although he eventually suffers defeat, he will definitely be remembered as one of the most skilled curse users in history. He may have been higher on this list if he had a confirmed domain similar to the other elite sorcerers. Number 6. Kashimo. Hajime Kashimo is a sorcerer from over 400 years ago and is considered as the strongest sorcerer of that generation. Considering the fact that Gojo is the strongest sorcerer of his generation, that fact really puts into perspective Kashimo's strength. His cursed energy has the properties of an electric current, which makes it near impossible to block his attacks, as it is more likely that his opponent would get electrocuted. Moreover, we're also able to observe his special cursed ability, known as Genju Kohasaku, during his battle against Sukuna. The cursed technique allows him to utilize all of the phenomena caused by lighting, granting him an enormous boost up for some periods of the battle. Even the overpowered Sukuna couldn't keep up. Although Kashimo eventually lost that battle due to Sukuna's reincarnation, we can safely say that the sorcerer has merited his place on this list. Number 5. Yuki. Yuki Tsugumo is the first special grade sorcerer on the list. Her innate ability is known as Star Rage, which grants her and her Shikigami Garuda terrifying mass that allows their blows to have extreme destructive force. This allows her to defeat even the special grade curses. However, she is still considered as the weakest among the 4 special grade sorcerers, particularly since the writers did her dirty. With barely any time under the spotlight and hardly any battles, it's difficult to predict the true extent of her powers. Her only real fight was against Kenjaku, and even though she did put up a great fight, she still suffered defeat. Moreover, we did not even get to see her domain expansion, which might just have bumped her a place above on this list. Number 4. Yuta. Yuta Okotsu, a second-year student at Jujutsu High, stands in elite company along with Geto, Yuki, and Gojo as the only special grade sorcerers. A descendant of one of the three big spirits, something he shares with Gojo, it was common knowledge that Yuta would be born with massive cursed energy. Moreover, he's also able to summon Rika, a vengeful Shikigami that has been given the title of Queen of Curses. As if all of this is not enough, Yuta's special technique, known as Reverse Curse Technique, allows him to use the innate abilities of others, often in quick succession. Although so far, he's only able to manifest Rika for 5 minutes, it's predicted that as his skills begin to develop, this time frame will increase, making him an even more fearsome adversary for those who stand in his way. Just ask Geto. Rest assured that he has the highest potential of any sorcerer in this list, and it seems like the sky's the limit for our boy Yuta. Number 3. Kinjaku. An ancient curse user and sorcerer, Kinjaku has managed to prolong his lifespan through his special technique. This involved transferring his brain to other people and controlling them. Some of his victims include Kaori, Itadori's mother, during the time she gave birth to him, which sort of makes him his dad or mom, as well as Geto. While possessing the former's body, he also has Geto's abilities, including the Uzumaki at his disposal. Pair this along with the fact that he's also able to store special curses for a one-time use, and also has a domain expansion called Womb Profusion, and you have yourself one of the greatest sorcerers the world has ever seen. Granted, he did meet his end to a fighter ranked lower than him in this list, in Yuta, but discrediting his strength just due to one fight would be an insult to weebs worldwide. Number 2. Gojo. Gojo Sotoru, the heartthrob of Jujutsu Kaisen enthusiasts worldwide. His birth was such a momentous occasion that it was said that there was a shift in power in the Jujutsu world. The writers really made him next level overpowered by giving him the limitless ability as well as the 6 eyes. This deathly combo made him reach a class above any other sorcerer in the entire anime. One of his coolest techniques is the Infinity, which is constantly active and which slows down any attacks that come near him. Similar to other sorcerers, his domain expansion called Infinite Void is a thing of beauty, and any opponent unfortunate enough to get stuck in it is in for a long and tough battle. As hard as I try to forget, we can safely say that Gojo met his match in Sukuna, and as hard as it is to accept it, we also have to move on from his death. Rest in peace, King. You shall be missed. Unless... Number 1. Sukuna. The pinnacle of Jujutsu was only going to belong to one. Ryomen Sukuna, known as the King of Curses. He has proved his strength in every timeline since the Golden Age of Sorcery, during which he had been challenged by numerous opponents. However, all that was left in his wake were body bags. He's managed to stay alive this long by storing his power in 20 indestructible fingers, which Itadori was unfortunate enough to consume, thus beginning his entire chain of events. Much is still unknown about Sukuna, but judging from his domain expansion, Malevolent Shrine, in which his opponent would be sliced continuously until nothing is left, you can safely assume you do not want to get on his bad side. Observing the fight between him and Gojo, it's obvious that he had been in control throughout, and credit goes to Gojo for prolonging the inevitable for as long as he did. So that's it for today's episode on the top 10 strongest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Do you agree with the list? Who would you have added or removed? Share your opinions in the comments, and as always, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. See you in the next one!